Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we're here to discuss some wrestling. I hope all of you are having a good one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this. Now, I think all of you might notice that I might sound a little sharper. I like to give this credit to a very soft, very sexy brown-skinned lady. You are the apple of my eye. That is the reason why this microphone is so crisp and so smooth, all right? Like a butter pecan pie. I am feeling amazing today. I hope all of you are having a good one. We're here to discuss the best sport of all time, wrestling, all right? This is going to be officially for our May 20th, 2026 Dynamite. That date might need a little bit of adjusting and editing, but this Dynamite was collabed with the Collision. So it was just a lot, I had to kind of really sit down and prepare for it. And truth be told, even engaging with it, I wasn't exactly where I needed to be to watch all of this program. But what I caught, and look at me using my AEW irresponsibly, right? Not using this platform as I should. I kind of caught bits and pieces of this Dynamite Collision, but I was able to pick up a couple of really, really big pieces of this night that I just think, definitely helps the brand build towards Double or Nothing. Again, a go-home show. There's not going to be like a bunch of crazy shit on the go-home shows typically, but what we do get for this Dynamite Collision kind of extravaganza, if you would put it, I was very pleased, very, very pleased. I think everyone had a role to play, even individuals who weren't there, people haunting the story, right? Like an individual like a Jay White, people like a Hangman Adam Page, who sooner or later will creep right back into this world title division, right? Into wrestling pieces with the tag division, like the Hurt Syndicate, even pieces like the Ops. There are a lot of things forming in this specific brand that I think kind of builds to the whole unpredictability. Darby Allin has been running the media circuits, kind of running that into the ground. That unpredictability is the saving grace of AEW, and I couldn't agree more. I personally couldn't agree more. We're going to be getting directly into our May 20th, 2026 Dynamite / Collision. There's a lot of wrestling. Right? So I do want to put that on notice, right? There is a SmackDown and a Saturday Night's main review. The Saturday Night's main event review that will be going up sometime shortly. Hold my hand when I tell you that. We learned in the past 48 hours that Mick Foley is going to be at fucking Double or Nothing, making an AEW debut. The fuck is going on there? That's pretty crazy. Ludwig was not only released, but he was, given this kind of welcome home party in all of Mexico. It kind of just turned out to welcome him back. Ludwig is over. He is no longer German. He is strictly a Mexicano, okay? And the last couple of things that I will be touching on. Double or Nothing is Saturday Night main event being back-to-back. Tony Khan, are you a man? Are you a mouse? Triple H, are you a man? Are you a mouse? What are we doing? Hey, if we are going to be here, let's start pulling some of these fucking triggers, all right? Listen, I don't know what they're doing with Sol Ruka, all right? I don't know what they're doing with Javon Evans. I don't know what they're going to do with Ethan Page in the future, but I do know moments make stars. I don't know when this Owen is starting. Personally, I would have it start tonight at Double or Nothing with a big, insane match that everyone has been predicting. But, the Owen, unfortunately, has taken some hits. So, everything building towards not only the Owen, but Double or Nothing, a little shaky. It's a little shaky. So I understand why maybe everything isn't moving at my pace, how I want it to go. But for Saturday night's main event, right, they do have the ability to pull some really interesting triggers. Don't know if they'll do it. Don't know if they have the capabilities. They might, though. And if they do, I will give credit where credit is due, all right? That was my Shotgun Weekly Wrestling Report. We're going to be barrel rolling into this Dynamite as quickly as we can, all right? Don't judge me. Don't hate me. All right, we start off this night with Ricochet and the Don Callis family. More specifically, Ricochet, Mark Davis, and forgetting the other cats. Mark Davis, Ricochet, I want to say Elcon. It's not Elcon. It's fine. They're going up against Jericho, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are easily, no question, Jackson. Best part of this match. They have a really, nice way to kind of lingering in the background while everything else is happening. Chris Jericho and Ricochet, they're a pretty solid table spot. Didn't hate it. But it's definitely clear out there that Jericho is doing raps. That's fine. Nothing to be upset about. But I'll be a liar if I say that, Mark Davis, Ricochet, and the Young Bucks didn't do a lot of the, quote unquote, heavy lifting, if you would call it that. I mean, there was a lot of moments where you just realize, oh shit, the Young Bucks. That's most of this match, right? And I definitely think, there's a great tweet that went out sometime this week. The Young Bucks embody everything that PWG is, both, with their wrestling style and energy, right? And I definitely think that bleeds into this match specifically. I think it was very fun. I think they have a good way of bouncing off, really solid players, like a Toleona. That's what was it, Toleona? No, I don't know. It wasn't the Demand. No, yes, and that's another thing. I'm kind of blanking on exactly who the other member of the Don Callis family was. But the finish of this match, I think, which is the thing I should kind of harp on a little bit. We finished up this match with Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson looking like they're gonna put away. Well, I believe it has to have been like El Connor, one of them, right? It has to be like somebody that they can carry. And basically, David Finlay comes out, and I'm scratching my head. I'm like, okay, so the Demand and the Don Callis family and the Dogs. I was like, all right, these are the fucking super young bucks. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Hey, if I have been transported back to 2014, all right, when these niggas were at their prime, let me know, and I will literally embrace any kind of run that these guys are going to go on. A 3v1 in terms of team is like kind of crazy for the veteran bucks, for the Unk bucks, really 3v1. It's not kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Kind of glazed. It's a little kind of glazed, but you know what, Con? Whatever, man. Do you, Big T? Do you? So with that, obviously, the Demand / Don Callis family, they end up going over on the Young Bucks and Jericho. I'll be honest, I don't exactly know what this Jericho and Ricochet feud is. I kind of just think it's them just fucking around, having fun because they're boys, and I like that. That's nice. That's cool. That seems like that's all this is, though. It's just niggas fucking around and being boys. I'll be honest with y'all. There's not a belt here. You know, it's not like something like really enticing. You know, like, hey, Ricochet's, he's getting better on the mic due to his constant, obvious practice with Jericho. And Jericho, very nice to listen to. He's not horrible in the ring. Unk raps, as I've noted before, but he's doing the best with what he can. I need to really understand what the end point of this feud is, because I don't know what it is right now, and I don't know if anyone else does. I don't know if Tony does. I don't know. But I will say that this is going to go into a conversation that I will have later with not only the tag division but the mid card. Our next match that we will be discussing is going to be Mark Briscoe versus the Psycho Killer in Tommaso Ciampa. This match was fucking horrifying. This match left you thinking, one of these niggas are going to have to get stretchered out. Wrong. You were wrong. I was wrong. Mark Briscoe goes out there, and I didn't honestly think he was going to win. I'll be honest with all of you. He bladed for 90% of this match, and it reminded me of his match that he had with MJF. But that match, MJF beat Mark Briscoe in that match, and Briscoe took a beating. Like, that shit was hard to watch. It was hard to watch, right? I think like MJF was like a salt of the earth. That's not important. Mark Briscoe has the tendency to take insane amount of damage, right? And even in that, the booking isn't always so like crystal clear with it. And I kind of like that as a character, as a performer. But Tommaso Ciampa, man, but the damage that he inflicts on this, bro, there's a spot where he's stapling like Shivani's notes. He's stapling Tony Schiavone's notes to his scalp, and I'm just like, okay, I know it's Mark Briscoe, but like, how the fuck does he? How? Like literally how? Like literally the fucking clip of Black Youngster. Like, man, they beat the shit out of each other. They beat the shit out of each other. They beat the shit out of each other. There was a really good pile driver spot from Mark Briscoe onto Tommaso Ciampa that kind of finishes up this match. It's all the way put away with a froggy elbow, which I think is pretty decent. It's good. It's good portion. This is good piece of this match, man. And it's not extremely over the top. It's actually fairly simple, right? It is a no holds barred between two old rivals who fucking eyes each other. And personally, I think that somebody like Mark Briscoe is the perfect counter for somebody like Tommaso Ciampa, who is so seasoned, he is so ruthless, that he seems like he'll do almost anything to put the match away. That's kind of what this shit, emphasizes. I mean, Mark Briscoe almost bleeds through the fucking match. That's not me being hyperbolic. That's not me, not hypothetical. It's not a fucking metaphor. He almost bleeds through that fucking canvas. It was beautiful. Great. It was great. Hey, I'm an ECW kid at heart, all right? So excuse me if I'm a bit of a blade mark at heart, all right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Sue me, all right? Fucking Mark. Okay. Look at me getting defensive about a fake person. Listen, man, this is a cool match. Very, very fun match. I'm not going to stop getting tired. I'm not going to get tired of watching Tommaso Ciampa any fucking time soon. I'm not going to get tired of watching this lineup between them anytime soon. This is good. It's good. It's a simply good fucking match. And, some could argue that Tommaso should have went over just by the, amount of damage that he inflicted. But, you can also make a counter argument that Mark Briscoe is the exact individual who should, with his extreme endurance, he should be able to get away with this kind of a match, put it away as quickly as he can. And I'm impressed. Good fucking match. Solid instrument use. And if, somebody doesn't like this, they probably watch, like the Poke of Death or some shit. That's fine. That's cool. That's what they like. But, we like what we like. And that's cool. That's fine too. Next match on the card that we will be discussing is Jon Moxley versus the Murder and the Violent Machine, Kyle O'Reilly. Hey man, this is a very nice match. Very fun match. My biggest upside that I look, well, or shall I say the biggest upside that I think Kyle O'Reilly expends at any, like, in any match at any point in time, is that he doesn't forget that he is the weight of a cruiserweight. He's the weight of a high fly. So we'll use that momentum, and then he'll hit you with some shit like a discus elbow. Like, it is very, very unique, the kind of style that Kyle O'Reilly brings to any match. It reminds me of like a kind of older, not older like age, but a old school kind of Roderick Strong, somebody who at that time, weighed about just as much as, Rey Mysterio, but he used to be able to knock a nigga's teeth out. And I think that that's a very, very good set of skills you need for somebody like Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, he is easily up there with Athena as one of the best wrestlers on this planet right now. There's zero question about that. His booking as somebody who's gone from a face to a tween to somebody who has to win to somebody who wants to prove himself to the crew, it's interesting, right? Because the fans kind of just like took over their own little identity of what Moxley would be. We all assumed that, it would kind of be a small, maybe like one pay-per-view, tension between him and Claudio if there would ever break up in the Death Riders, right? But that never happened, obviously. Leaving us with this just interesting middle space of like, okay, well, is he a heel or is he a face? And I definitely think bouts like this with Kyle O'Reilly, it definitely helps emphasize what we mean when we say things like that. Because Kyle O'Reilly is very good. He's very beloved in that ring. But Jon Moxley, I mean, that's like LeBron to these niggas. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's probably hard for them to actually boo him. But, against somebody like Kyle O'Reilly, again, somebody who uses their momentum, they work as a face, they have a face arsenal, right? It's easy. It's easy for somebody like Moxley, who is just, naturally cocky, naturally arrogant. He's bigger than O'Reilly, which definitely makes a good visual for, a kind of black hat cowboy, white hat cowboy kind of situation. And I definitely think that, even in that small visual aspect, it helps. It definitely helps the booking of this. There's a clear face, a clear heel. And, despite all of my critiques that I feel like I have with Jon Moxley's booking, this match was good. This match was a good display of what simple 101 creativity is supposed to be in those wrestling, creative rooms. It's who's the face, who's the heel, how do we make this shit stick to the wall? And there being a time limit, proving, the old tale, it's not the size of the dog, but it's the size of the fight in the dog, with Kyle O'Reilly officially, technically, right, going over at least twice on Jon Moxley. He cut this amazing promo backstage in rebuttal to him kind of losing, quote unquote, the match, leading to that Double or Nothing match that they will be having. The match tonight, I know that's a little confusing, right? The match tonight that Jon Moxley lost is leading to the Double or Nothing match that he will be having in 24 hours from what I'm recording right now. I think it's important to note that Moxley, he is working with this kind of instant, this instant ability just to flip on a dime. I'm a face, I'm a heel, I'm a heel, I'm a face. I'm working with the crowd. I'm speaking to the crowd's wishes and desires as a fellow fan of the sport. But at the same time, maybe, 2 nights later, I put in the dagger, when I'm trying to recruit the new face who everyone loves, but, we gotta get him to the dark side. Even in this Will Ospreay thing, right? A lot of people just kind of anticipated that Will Ospreay would be a lot more, shall I say, devious than what he's already been. Anyone who knows Will Ospreay knows that he's that boy crazy. But the Death Riders are kind of supposed to be this settling ground of wherever we go, we establish ourselves. Absolutely. And whether that's through violence, whether that's through intimidation, we'll do it, right? And Ospreay really hasn't been there. Like, we're gonna get to the match later. We're not gonna step over some of the other matches, I promise. But it's interesting because Ospreay, he doesn't carry that weight of, hey, I'm ready to do some bad shit to people. It's, hey, I'm ready to fucking hit anything. Anything that moves at me that wants to stop me from being the number one in the world, I will stop. I don't care, even myself. And, I think that that's a good character arc for Ospreay. I think that definitely fits, again, with the dynamic of the Death Riders. It's fun, very fun. We're not going to skip over the rest of these matches. But as I noted, this Kyle O'Reilly match was very good. He did win via the time limit. And who knows, we might see a Continental Champion flip at Double or Nothing. Maybe. It's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. We are going to be speaking on Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale. She said that, as much fun as she has had performing with that TBS belt, as much as it meant to her winning it off of Mercedes Moné and the possibility of going to Double or Nothing in front of her home crowd and having an amazing jaw-dropping performance like she always does. Unfortunately, in her last bout with Red Velvet, she has injured her shoulder, and to the, to the fairness of her and the creative, it seems to be at least a semi-long-term injury, meaning she won't be here for a minimum 5 weeks, and she relinquished the belt, and that TBS title is now vacant. There is a lot of things we could do with that belt, Tony. A lot of things, man. And hey, I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy about this women's division. I think it is a very fair. I think it is a very reasonable critique to make of Tony and that creative team back there. Is probably an entire consortium of minds, and I know somebody like a Thecla. I know somebody on a great night like fucking Thunder Rosa. I know people back there, even of the caliber of Athena, somebody who is, for more of a better word, for lack of a better word, just kind of only relegated to ROH. These are people who could be your TBS champion. Listen, I love the Triangle of Madness, but hey, I started making jokes about the Pentagon of Madness 4 months into this channel, and that was probably the best time to start thinking about, hey, do we want to take Julia Hart here? Hey, is Sky Blue ready for that again? Is that something we want to do? That's when you start making those decisions, right? Because now that we're kind of in the trenches with this Triangle of Madness shit, and Thecla is doing a great job with everything that she's doing, we only can kind of focus on the tag division, because I want you to tell me off the top of your head who's going to dethrone Thecla. Who? Give me one. One person. I would go Queen Aminita. Where's Queen Aminita been for the past 2-3 weeks? Now let's move over to the tag division. What's there? Right? And that's going to be leading into our next match, I promise you. But, we have Chris and Sheeta. That's going to break up, and it seems like they've been planting seeds of hey, Willow's injured, so Willow's injured, so Chris is going to get her comeuppance, or something of that ilk, right? Are even people back there, are even people back there like a Mina Shirakawa, right? Mina Shirakawa is in this next match that, again, we will be discussing very shortly. But if we want to do something with these titles, man, they gotta get put on real hoopers. Athena is a real hooper, bro. We're gonna just get into this match as quickly as we can, right? It's a It's Athena with all of the Triangle of Madness versus the Birds of Prey, Mina Shirakawa, and Thunder Rosa. Even in that, right? Jamie Hayter, amazing. Jamie Hayter's great. Jamie Hayter's she's a baller. She's a hooper, right? We need these championships to start going on people so they can actually start holding a bit of weight, right? That's not an insane thing to ask for or want. It's not. It's not. Also, this being one of the only 2 fucking women's matches on this card. What are we doing? What the fuck is up with that? Listen, I need Athena to either win the Owens or win the TBS belt. That's not me being funny. That's not me trying to make a mockery of things. We need this shit to actually matter. Hoopers. Real competitors. Megan Bayne is ready for that next step. Why the fuck is she trapped in the tag division? I love Lena Cross. Hey, Penelope Ford is easily one of my favorite mid-carders. I'm really pissed that she's injured, actually. You niggas wouldn't want to see Megan Bayne dethrone Thecla? Maybe in a best of 3? No, nobody wants that? I find that hard to believe. I humbly find that very fucking hard to believe. Okay, I can make a laundry list of things I'm unhappy with when it comes to this company, and more specifically the women's division, but for the sake of time, I'll keep it brief and I'll keep it short. Just not what we get for this. Just not what we're getting now. Literally anything beyond what we're getting right now, and I'll be fine, and I'll shut up, and I'll be content. Last match for our Dynamite is going to be Speedball Mike Bailey, the Unstoppable, versus Darby Allin, the man who cannot stop falling. I do like that they are hyping up. He is a fighting champion. That's good. That's good. Hey, that's what the company's supposed to be. That's what this brand is supposed. That's what this industry. What we do here at TKO. When we have a long-term story, our champions don't really wrestle. and that really makes you feel, fina. That's basically the counter to you not wrestling in like that's practically the counter, all right, for what AEW is doing right now. They're wrestling with their that's basically a counter to what AEW is doing with their world champion right now, right? Darby is wrestling every night, damn near almost every single week. All right, there's never really a week that he's not wrestling, which is rare. You know, it's he was already kind of like a workhorse before the championship. Now he's just kind of doubling down on that workhorse shit. Good for Darby. Bears, big bears to you, Demon. This match between him and Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, we are going to speak about this 101 booking, right? As we spoke on earlier in the night. Speedball is a face. Speedball is a face. There's no way to duck or dodge that. Darby is one of the most faciest faces to ever face. I wonder going into this who they thought the crowd would boo. And I think them collectively trying to assume that the crowd would just be over with both of them. I don't know because Roosh gets like a squash match, right? And instead of us just getting Roosh and Darby now, right? So like, oh man, like he really has went against some of the hardest and some of the most before MJF, right? But Speedball, love Speedball. I knew that he wasn't gonna win. I knew that. Speedball? Come on. And then you have to also think about this, right? In the context of Kevin Knight already being the TNT champion, right? Like, what exactly is this tag team gonna be? The TNT champion and the World Heavyweight champion? A week out from our MJF match? I guess the point I'm getting to is it's predictable. You know, this is a very predictable match that doesn't take away from the fun. This is fun. Very cool. Like it's it's nice that Speedball is honestly he's changing up his gear every now and again, and that people are anticipating his moves now. You know, when he goes for that ultimate weapon, when he goes for that ultimate weapon on the apron, you know, people anticipate it now. People don't fall for it every time, and I think that just adds the IQ of these wrestlers, increasing week out and week out, just due to really solid, competent production. You know, far from perfect, but competent production has wrestlers improve their intelligence week in and week out. MJF's involvement in this, him being on commentary was very fun, added another layer to this match that I think was kind of needed, again, for something as predictable as Speedball and Darby 2 nights out from the World Champion main event match, right? Really quickly, MJF's small involvements, it did give me a glimpse into a future where Speedball and MJF have like a best of 3. Wouldn't hate that. Hey, chat, I wouldn't hate that at all. I wouldn't hate that at all, chat. Darby and MJF, they have a little bit of a back and forth after Darby Allin finds a way to go over on the most speediest non-binary to every non-binary in Speedball Mike Bailey. Kevin Knight, he says that, hey, after you get done with MJF, you gotta come see me. And we'll touch on this briefly because I do want to kind of cap off this night. Get to Collision, because Collision was a whole nother thing, right? I can't take the idea of Kevin Knight already having that TNT championship. Speedball Mike Bailey, canonically, as he's giving this speech, having no championship, and he thinks that he's in the place to issue a championship, challenge to Darby, so we could be 2-belt Kevin Knight. And maybe I'm misunderstanding the segment, but didn't Kevin Knight already get an opportunity at Darby Allin? There's possibility that I'm misunderstanding the segment. Possibility maybe I'm just, hey, there's a meme about the boys that they don't even watch their own show. Unfortunately, that same critique rings true for Dynamite fans. I'm not sure what Kevin Knight's purpose is, for Darby Allin after MJF a match that he may or may not lose. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I know for a fact though that Kevin Knight, he is the TNT championship. He is the TNT champion, and Speedball, for lack of a better word, looks a little lackluster. Not entirely lackluster. He definitely just needs gold. He needs to belt up, and that should have been FTR. That should have been that FTR ramp we talked about many moons ago. But now we're here. And then I'll be honest with all of you. I'm not really sure. I'm not really certain, and I'm not really sure what they're trying to get from this this MJF Darby Allin thing. I'm not sure. Like, I'm thinking about it in real time. Me personally, right? I think that MJF need at least another month, another month or so, just so everyone can really feel the effects of his championship reign. Because if we are gonna start playing like hot potato with this shit, who's after MJF? Hunter, are they? We gonna find some way to work around so so Moxley gets the belt back. Maybe he's like an overface. He's more Harley Davidson than he was, a 2003 Austin. I'm spitballing. I'm trying to make sense of this shit, chat. Like I really am. I really am. I don't know. I think Darby, he definitely, even in like his multiple upon multiple title defenses, it is a solid brand builder, right? It is a good establishment character. It is the good. it is a good establishing character, not only for Dynamite, but the AEW brand, right? And I definitely like that. I would just maybe like a little bit more understanding on the science behind it, right? Because somebody eventually has to go over on Darby. And my question is, are we talking like Ospreay? We running that back? We talking Joe? I don't know. I mean, the only candidate that would make any real sense would be Swerve and or Bandito. Swerve and or Bandito. Or maybe you fucking give me an AEW license elimination not chamber match. I don't fucking know. Listen, this shit gotta make sense. This shit gotta make sense. And Darby's been running through him. Pause. He's been running through him. So I'm definitely need something real big for a blow off, because even in MJF shaving his head bald, right? It's like, okay, all right. Is that the biggest thing we can do for this pay-per-view? I mean, honestly, like, it's probably gonna be a title change, but I mean, I'm just thinking about this, right? Logistically, I think the smartest choice would probably be to shave MJF's head, right? But are you gonna give MJF a mohawk? Like, he's just gonna shave his head? And then I'm also thinking, like, is this just a reason so MJF can kind of like reinvent himself, low-key? But fucking MJF need to reinvent himself. I don't know. Like, the more I think about this out loud, the more puzzling it gets. But I can say one thing: MJF will put on a good match. He did have a pretty, again, very fun segment with Darby Allin and the Clippers in that middle of that ring, starting off our collision. And I'll be frank. I can imagine that maybe MJF is probably going to go like quote unquote scorched earth after he gets his head shaved. But even then, like, what the fuck does that look like? I don't know. We'll have to see. Getting into our collision for May 20th, 2026. This collision started off with Ospreay and Shibata. Now, I initially assumed that this match would be a little bit more, and maybe that's me being greedy, right? I'll be honest, maybe that's just me being fucking greedy. It's not 2017 anymore, and I can't expect God tier wrestling from Shibata, unfortunately, and I can't expect this company to book him like he is the second coming of Jesus, unfortunately. So he does go down in like a solid, once like 12 or so, 13-minute bout. It only takes about one finisher to put that nigga out. 1, 2, 3. And it's funny, right? Because they are trying to hype up this flying armbar that Will Ospreay has coined Death Ground. Apparently the place that Ospreay's career is currently at. Renee Paquette, by the way, is doing such a phenomenal job with that kind of Doris Burke kind of role, where she is just on the sidelines giving reports and giving feed-ins about the story. I like it a lot, and I definitely think it cuts through all that narrative AEW doesn't do stories. Bullshit. And I think anyone who watches the actual product, or even fuck it, like somebody who takes a glimpse at what they post on social media, like, yeah, Renee Paquette is a focal part of the storytelling there. That's dope. That's cool to see. We gotta bring more of that into more company. Anthony Bowman is a real dickish kind of part of this match. Ospreay, the obvious face. He does kind of put away this match easily. But what I will say is that the ops definitely play a big hand in trying to deter Ospreay off of a really solid, clean path. After the blade cutter, uno dos tres, Samoa Joe comes out, right? Samoa Joe comes out and he challenges Will Ospreay to a challenge unlike anything you ever see. All right, blood and bone, like shock and awe in blood and fucking bone, son. Right? And bloody bone, son. Right? Like after this match, Will Ospreay cuts a segment saying he feels like he's the best he's ever been in his life. He gives credit to Daniel Garcia, Marina Shafir, and all the Death Riders for rebuilding him to be who he is. And then Samoa Joe comes out, right? And it's real simple, it's real simple, real understandable. He challenges to a battle, he challenges to a battle. He challenges Ospreay to a battle at Double or Nothing. Shock and awe, blood and fucking bone, son. It's actually very, very good from both of these guys. Two solid promo cutters. Who's surprised by that? Not me. I have booked this match already in my mind about 2 months ago, and played out in 2K exactly. I think it would play out. Samoa Joe did go over, but Ospreay might go over just for the love of the game. And if we are getting this kind of eventually Ospreay turns on the Death Riders and captures that Continental belt, I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'll put a pin in that. But the next match on the card that I definitely think deserves just about half as much attention, as this is going to be our next segment on the match, next segment on the card that we will be discussing is something that I think deserves at least half of as much attention as what we just previously talked about in Lena Cross, Megan Bayne Job Squad. Yes, no, we are not giving these ladies actual competitors, actual matches. Go out there, flex your muscles, make shit look cute. Hey, not gonna lie, the Divine Domination dominate shit and look divine while doing it, then they end up going home. Would I like more meat on this bone? Yes, I would. But hey, look at me screaming into the abyss. Is what it is what it is. Cope and Cage, they cut a pretty okay segment backstage. Edge does most of the talking, he always does. Very nice segment, actually, kind of reflecting on their friendship, and even them having daughters around the exact same time. I actually had a really good time watching this segment. I just had to keep thinking to myself, man, FTR has been in charge of this tag division, and this shit should have been done at Dynasty. Hey, if you asked me, maybe like 3 months of that title reign, you get that speedball. I'm serious. We are in month like 8. Like, nigga, listen, for lack of a better word, I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired of the FTR title reign. Only because I know that it's gonna end with Cope and Cage, and it's just been taking forever. And it's like, damn, what the why are we just prolonging this? Like, for who, for what? Again, there are individuals like the Hurt Syndicate back there, right? Like, they are the conglomeration, right? Like, we're gonna touch on that later, the kind of final thoughts about this mega show. But I'll be honest. I need more. I need more from the women's tag division, and I need a lot more from the men's tag division, because this small little thing, it's fine, microdose, but like on a larger scale, not enough at all. I'm sorry, we are in like month 4 of this feud. It has to stop eventually. Speak of the devil, all right, and they will arrive in a very tacky 80s theme song in a wheelchair led by Stoke Haley himself. FTR go up against the conglomeration to cap off this collision for this 3-hour extravaganza, as one would put it. I'll be honest. I think this is probably one of the better matches of the night. Again, it's up there with the Young Bucks. I would consider it right up there with the Kyle O'Reilly and Moxley match. Easily top 3 for me personally. But when you really look at everything on its face, right? Another really good, really solid match that's predictable. Hate to be that guy. And now when I really look at the tapestry of this, right? I have Cope and Cage sitting in the back cutting a promo about how things will change come Sunday, right? They don't even have a match, right? So any kind of stakes or booking or hypothetical with them, throw that shit out the window, right? They talk to a camera for tonight, right? That's it, right? Go home, folks. That's everything. It leads to FTR winning a match. So now I have to go, okay, so Cope and Cage, they didn't really do anything. And FTR win, right? So what other booking could it be for Sunday other than Cope and Cage going over? Again, something that's kind of delayed at least a good 2 months. Minimum 2 months we've delayed this Cope and Cage run. And I don't know why. I understand Christian is injured, but if that's the case, then you make some moves, you hot potato that TNT belt, you get jet speed to the top. Why isn't jet speed getting the proper push that they honestly have cultivated organically? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I do consider, again, this match very, very strong. Dax Harwood, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, those are just natural pluses for me. When you look at Stoke, Haley, Stoke Riley, I kind of forgot his name. Big Stoke. Yeah, when you look at Big Stoke's involvement in the match, it does save somebody like Orange Cassidy from looking like a jabroni, like a fucking jobber. So I definitely think that's cool. It's fine. Even how they kind of, teased Orange Cassidy with the small cakes. It was fun. Like, this was very fun. And I'm not gonna harp on the booking too much, but this paired with what the Young Bucks are doing over there, and the Trios division being what it is, right? The women's tag division, the TBS division as of right now, the TNT division as of right now. Like, a lot of things that I think Tony has to kind of shape up. And I'll be non-biased. This was originally going to be a 7.5. I think when I really take into consideration my my small, very nitpicky gripes with the divisions and the title placements of this company as of right now, going into the storytelling, I have to give it a smooth 7. I have to give it a smooth 7. I got to instantly kind of shave off, that little 0.5, because that Athena match was fucking great. It was great. Athena Elite Wrestling. That shit gets posted by the main headquarter company like that. Like, listen, there are people back there who see her value, but for some reason, for some rhyme or another, ROH exclusively. That's not a terrible thing. ROH is a foundational brand in this industry. No one with a fucking brain will argue that. Cena deserves a bigger platform. Two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. That was my official review for May 20th, 2026. Dynamite / Collision extravaganza. I'll just keep using that word. I feel like Trump. Christ have mercy. I will definitely be getting to the new One Piece chapter that is out. And SmackDown and Saturday night's main review is going to be a cute little bundle in the bingo. All right, so hope all of you have a great rest of your night. However you catch this, whenever you catch this, and as I always say, I hope you all stay tuned, stay safe, stay beautiful. Peace.